I am not a big fan of diets, but there is one diet that I think we could all benefit from, and it has nothing to do with what you're eating. So if you've been hanging out on my channel for a while now, then you know that I'm definitely anti-diet. But when I talk about diets being bad, what I'm talking about is diets that have to do with your food. So they either restrict what you're eating or how much you're eating or when you're eating, that sort of thing. But what I want to talk about today is about a different type of consumption. So it's not about the food you consume. Today we are talking about the media you consume. And I think going on a media diet is a really good idea. Now, I'm not saying cut out all forms of media in your life, no television, no apps, nothing. I mean, if you want to do that and you think that that would be healthy for you to step away entirely for a while, maybe that is something you want to do. But what I'm talking about today is just being more aware of the types of media that you're consuming and curating things a little bit more. Because the messages that we get from people on Instagram and television shows and the news and our friends on Facebook, all of that stuff can really have an impact on the way we think about ourselves, the way we think about our food choices, and the way that we live our lives. So what I'm suggesting here is to look at the type of stuff that you're being exposed to. Look at what people are posting on Instagram and say, hey, is this helpful for me or not? If you are seeing a bunch of diety messages and you don't want to see that stuff because we know diets are no good, and maybe you're in a place where seeing that kind of stuff can send you towards going on a diet, it might be time for you to say, you know, I don't need to see that. That could mean unfollowing someone. If it's a personal friend, it might mean muting them for a while, or it might be looking at the types of ads that you're being served and clicking that little button and saying, you know, I don't want to see stuff like this, or this isn't helpful for me. Doing those little things to make sure that when you see something that's causing a problem for you, that instead of just thinking, oh, that's awful, and then keep on scrolling so that it just comes back again later, take that time to make those choices, to do the unfollow, to say, I don't want to see this, whatever you need to do depending on the platform you're on. If you're watching the news, maybe that means changing the channel or turning the TV off. Whatever it is, just consciously making those choices to get that stuff out of your face. And this is something we can be doing at any time of year, just to be aware of the types of stuff we are being exposed to and to make those tweaks that we need to make. But I think it's especially important at this time when I'm uploading this video, the new year, because this is prime time for diety talk and diet messages. So it's gonna be your friends who are going on that diet as part of their New Year's resolution and are posting everything they're eating and why they're cutting out this or that, all that kind of thing. It can also be the diet companies that are marketing to you and trying to get you on their plan and to start their diet. It can be the people who are telling you that, you know, you just need to cut out these foods and then all your problems will be solved, or you can only be happy if you look like this fitness model. Whatever it is, recognize it, see it for what it is, and then get rid of it. Now, this might be a little bit easier for you to do if it's a brand or someone that you follow that you don't actually know in real life, that you don't have a personal relationship with. But it can get a little trickier when it comes to your close friends and family. You know, you don't want to necessarily unfollow your best friend just because they're going on this diet. It might not be something that you need to see, or it could be something that is dangerous for you to see if you're dealing with, you know, eating disorder recovery or something like that. But that doesn't mean that you want to cut that person out of your life either, or that you can cut them out of your life. So in those types of situations, you're definitely going to have to take it on a case-by-case basis. You know, maybe on certain platforms you can mute someone, maybe just for the month if they're doing some sort of New Year, January diet, and then you can unmute them when that's over. Or maybe, you know, you do unfollow that person, but that doesn't mean that you're cutting them out of your life. You can still, you know, call them up on the phone to chat about all the other things that you could talk about that aren't diet related. Or it could be, you know, getting together with them to go to a movie or something like that. So it's not necessarily that you need to just push those people to the side and never talk to them again, because this is just one facet of life. But you do need to really pay attention to taking care of yourself as well. And if someone is posting stuff that's really causing a problem for you, then you do need to look at that and see what kinds of tweaks or changes you could make to make the situation a little bit better. Now, with those people that you're seeing in real life, unfollowing them on social media might not get rid of the issue, because they might bring up all of this diety stuff in real life too. And I do have a video where I talk about dealing with diet talk. So if that's something you need help with, with. If you missed that video or if you need a refresher on the info, then I will link that for you so you can go over and check it out. Another thing I want to point out with all of this is just because you unfollow someone doesn't mean that you don't like that person anymore, that that person never did anything good for you, because it could be that the situation you're in has changed, or maybe what they're posting has changed. Maybe there's some author that you follow because, you know, they posted a lot of stuff that was really helpful for you and you enjoyed their books and they gave great information that helped you in the situation that you were in. But now you're in a different situation, or maybe what they're posting has kind of morphed and taken a whole new shape or direction, and it's just not for you anymore. It's totally okay to say, this was good for me at one time, it's not good for me now, and I need to move on and release it and just go on to the next thing and not stress about it. And I also think this is something that gets easier with practice. The more you work at recognizing when things are making you feel like crap about yourself or pushing you towards going on a diet, which you don't want to do, the more that you kind of recognize that, make the decision, and move on from it, the more easily it's going to come to you. You're going to start to really be more aware of, hey, whenever I see this person post, it's some garbage that makes me feel terrible, or it's something that is encouraging behaviors that are unhealthy and that I don't want to be a part of, and I need to get rid of that. It will become a skill that you build upon, and it will become easier to see those things when they're there and make the appropriate decision when you need to make it, the more that you do it. And let me know in the comments, have you noticed how the media in your life affects your decisions and your thoughts and how you feel about yourself? Because it's definitely something that I've noticed more and more in the past few years for me personally, and I wonder if you've had the same experience. And if you happen to be new here and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and videos like this one, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle really doesn't have to be complicated, and I want to show you how to do it. And if you want to watch some more videos, I have a couple linked over here that you might like. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.